world's most beautiful mammal is in danger. It's on poachers' radars. But as the red panda lives hidden away in the bamboo jungles of the Himalayas, and there are people taking action to save it, there is hope for the forgotten panda. The red panda is also known as the lesser panda, the cat bear, and the firefox. But it's not related to cats, bears, or foxes. It forms its own separate family in the animal kingdom. The giant panda is nothing more than its namesake, known around the world, for example, as the symbol of the WWF. But hardly anyone has heard of the red panda, even in its local habitat. It lives in the shadows of the Himalayas, in remote, steep mountain forests between 5,000 and 15,000 feet above sea level. The panda is a crepuscular animal and very difficult to find in the bamboo thicket. Perhaps that's why it's been neglected and forgotten. But this has to change, for it needs more attention. Red Panda Habitats, the forests on the southern slopes of the Himalayas, are under threat. If they disappear, it will not only result in the loss of the bamboo jungle, but also over 10,000 plant species, including cobra lilies, wild kiwis, and many types of rhododendron. The rhododendron flowers are frequently visited by Rufus Sibius. Laughing thrushes still sing in the forests, and Himalayan monal pheasants, Nepal's national birds, compete with satyr tragopans to display the most colourful plumage. This biodiversity hotspot is also home to many little-known mammals, such as yellow-throated martins, leopards, barking deers, takins, Himalayan langurs, and Assam macaques. Like the red panda, they all live in the bamboo jungle. Dense and impenetrable, it provides good protection for the red panda. But more importantly, the bamboo is a good source of food. It feeds almost exclusively on the low-energy leaves, eating around 1.5 kilograms a day. Autumn also brings the fruits of white bean trees. As plants do not contain many nutrients, the red panda needs to conserve its energy, which is why it spends 80% of the day sleeping. That's why it's called the sloth of the Himalayas. Winters in the forest are mild and very short. The red pandas are most active between December and February, which is mating season. They mark stones or branches with a secretion from their anal gland. Using a special organ on the bottom of their tongue, the males test whether the female partner is ready to mate. They finally get together. Spring comes, and with it, more clouds and moisture. After a gestation time of around 5 months, The panda mothers give birth to up to 3 young at the start of the monsoon season, usually in June. They're looked after selflessly and are even taken to a different den if under threat. These are often hollows in giant trees, padded with twigs and moss. The young remain in the den for 3 months. In September, the mother takes them on their first excursions into the bamboo forest. If after a further 3 months they've become independent, they may even end up near villages. But many people don't realize what a rare, special animal lives close by. Based on the belief in the reincarnation of all life, Buddhism requires that every creature be respected, which has so far helped protect the red panda. In the modern world, it's becoming increasingly important for people to be better informed about the precious treasures living around them. As such, workers from the Red Panda Network Nepal are taking action to train young people to become forest guardians. In many parts of the Indian state of Sikkim, the red panda has symbolic significance. Indeed, merchants sell tea with the panda on its logo. And visitors to the Basi Rhododendron Sanctuary are welcomed by a panda at the entrance. Even the Forest Authority's sign is adorned with Sikkim's emblematic animal. Workers from the WWF India team up with forest officials and specialists from the villages to head into the bamboo forests looking for pandas and their panda toilets high up in the home oaks and rhododendron trees. They want to find out what exactly the red panda eats and what measures need to be taken to protect its habitat. The red panda is now also being researched more intensively in Bhutan. The forests that still blanket the region are home to more than just tigers and takins. It's assumed they also house one of the world's largest red panda populations. The recent nationwide count will soon be able to confirm this. In other parts of the Himalayas, vast stretches of the red panda's former habitat have already been cleared. And the logging is intensifying, posing one of the biggest threats to the red panda. The wood is used to build homes and furniture, to manufacture incense sticks, and most importantly, as fuel. The traditional clay ovens are not efficient, and their dense smoke is harmful. Iron ovens with exhaust pipes are now undergoing initial test runs in a bid to remedy this, an action initiated by the Red Panda Network through donations from international sponsors. This is a wise, instant measure which benefits both humans and the pandas. Cattle has been grazing in the bamboo jungles for centuries. Up to even just 1 century ago, this was no problem for the red panda, as there was enough food for everyone. Things have become scarcer in the meantime. The forest is disappearing rapidly, and with it, the resources required by wild and domestic animals. The type and extent of the grazing need to be adapted and alternative food sources found. For this reason, nurseries are trying to increase the populations of plants intended to grow near urban settlements and serve as high-quality animal food and medicines. The The reforestation scheme particularly involves growing trees and shrubs, which the panda can then use as a food source. The plantations are fenced off to protect against damage caused by livestock and to ensure the new forest can grow unhindered. The climate is ideal. There's plenty of rain. Some places receive 10,000 litres per square metre a year, which is one of the cornerstones of the biodiversity found in the bamboo forests. The water thundering down from the roof of the world feeds into Asia's major rivers, supplying water to more than 2 billion people, a quarter of the world's population. Up here, the stream still powers small mills, which set prayer wheels in motion. The spinning drums activate Buddhist mantras for the benefit of all living creatures. And this seems to be more necessary than ever before. The red panda's habitat is coming increasingly under pressure. Many parts of the Himalayas are construction sites. Over 400 dams will eventually ensure greater control over the water to satisfy the hunger for energy in the neighboring countries' booming economies. To limit the impact of such actions, it's becoming more and more important to create nature reserves beyond borders. One such cooperation already exists between India and Nepal with the Kangchenjunga Conservation Area, which helps protect rare animals like the clouded leopard and preserve the mountain forest's biodiversity. And the red panda benefits too, as long as it's not caught by poachers. Sadly, fur trading still exists. Over the last 10 years, 70 furs have been confiscated in Nepal alone, a dramatic number, given the country is home to only around 500 animals. Conservationists have installed trail cameras, and the photos help them catch a poacher red-handed. These cameras are actually set up to record panda numbers at their panda toilets. The forest guardians are very experienced in finding their pandas. The Red Panda Express transports local and international visitors into the mountains, where they are welcomed with a traditional Tibetan scarf known as the katag, a symbol of goodwill and empathy. It's worn by hosts and guests alike, as they all want the red pandas to be protected and their enchanted forest to be preserved. The ecotourism organised through the Red Panda Network is a good way of raising awareness about the Forgotten Panda and supporting the conservation activities in its local habitat. The panda tourists return to the village happy and content. This combination of local involvement and worldwide support provides hope for the conservation of the world's cutest mammal, the red panda.